have a guest this week. This is my sister, Eva.
Hello. All the girlies are here.
I call her my baby sister, but I said that we had to re-record and restart, and she's like, you've never said that to me before, but she is my baby sister. I'm a year and 1 month older, and we're besties now.
Yeah, not back then. We do talk about back then a lot, actually.
Eva loves to bring it up. She's like, remember when you were so terrible and like bullied me every day?
It's really how I get through it most of the nights.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want to like say a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself?
So I'm Eva. It's my sister.
Okay, she's in nursing school.
No, I don't. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm in nursing school. If I don't make it through nursing school, then everybody can say, oh, isn't she in nursing school anymore? Well, I failed, so. Or if I make it, then in 5 semesters, you all can congratulate me, and I'm sure you can ask me all the questions you want about vitamins and side effects, all the stuff like my grandmother does right now. So.
Amazing.
Nanny literally treats her as if she is a doctor. Like, to Nanny, she's already graduated 3 times.
That's amazing.
She's like, I'm not sure if you've heard of this medication before, but it's new to the market. No, Nanny, I haven't. I really haven't. You know what I know about critical thinking and the nursing process? I can do a musculoskeletal assessment on you, Perla, the 12 cranial nerves.
Ooh.
That's about it. That's what I know.
Mic drop.
Wow. That's so funny.
Yeah, she didn't want me to mention she's in nursing school, but I just know that you're gonna pass this time, so it doesn't even matter, and everyone's gonna be hyping you up. And
that. What if you jinx me?
I don't.
I always said if I don't make it in life, I always said Sophia was the one who wasn't really supposed to make it in life. I was the one who was more sure of myself when we were kids. I was like, I'm gonna be a veterinarian. I'm gonna have my shit together. And I was like, but I'll have a nice basement and Sophia can rent out, or I'll let Sophia stay. That was like, do you not remember that?
Well, because I wanted to be a secretary. That was my dream job, so that I could staple and type and paperclip. Like, those were my only interests.
She loves the clicking of the keyboards. But then for a while there, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to be a vet because it was tough, because it's like, a human's body for the most part is the same, but animals are very different. Everything is different in different places, stuff like that. So I was like, that's too much for me, actually. Can't do that. So then I was like, well, maybe I can be a manager on like a cruise ship and travel the world. It was more about traveling.
Was a different time.
That was Valdosta. That was what I was thinking about, was like hospitality. That was what I was leaning towards.
It was definitely our mom being like, oh yeah, don't you want to do this?
She's like, you don't have to pay rent. You live on this cruise ship. You travel. You do all this stuff. You just manage. And I was like, I really don't like talking to people, which is crazy because I'm in nursing too. I actually talk to a lot of people, but it's like, I can tolerate. I'm okay at it. And I know once I get my degree, I don't have to be bedside. I can do a bunch of other things that don't require like dealing with doctors.
Yeah,
and family members.
for sure.
I don't mind it, but there's some crazy people out there. Crazy.
She has some absolutely insane stories.
I can only imagine.
Like,
this girl is not fazed by anything. Like the
only thing that grosses me out is like saliva for the most part, which brings
interesting.
Like sputum and like.
Sorry,
what?
I'm sorry. What?
Sorry,
like,
run that back. Sputum? What is that?
It's like if somebody has like a trach and stuff.
Okay.
And stuff comes out of it. It's
sick.
like it's the thick spit basically. That's
nice.
Like that kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
It will gross me out.
I don't blame you.
So, and thank goodness I've quit smoking cigarettes now, which is crazy because I work on the cancer floor too. But so some people that have smoked cigarettes for a lot of their life, for a lot of their life, and they come in, and then there's people that's like, I never put a cigarette to my lips, and I have stage 3 lung cancer. And I'm like, I am so sorry.
I don't know what to tell you, babe.
I am gonna smoke a Camel Crush on the way home, thinking about
Eva!
you.
A Camel Crush on the way home.
But yeah, I've quit now. But
you see all types of people though.
Yeah, usually about like the same kind of stuff. Now, if I was in the ER, I'd probably see a lot I'd see more like open bones. Mine's is more like long-term issues, bed sores.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, stuff like that. But some people do have trachs, and this one guy's, his stuff smelled so bad. And he was coughing all the time too. And see, like, I talk about this stuff while I'm eating. Like, we'll sit around and talk about like the grossest stuff we saw today, and it doesn't faze me at all. But if I mention stuff like this to like my family or my sister and friends, and they're like, can we not talk about this right now? And I'm like, it just doesn't gross me out.
Right.
But one time I saw, this isn't super gross, y'all be okay, but we were transferring this lady over on a bed, and she for some reason was talking to the nurse, and all of a sudden she just went and bit her lip, and she pulled off the fattest piece of skin on her lip, chewed on it, swallowed it. And my friend looked at me and was like, and we got out of the room after, and she was like, if I had to look at you, otherwise I was gonna throw up. That was the nastiest thing I've ever seen. It's
bit off flesh.
No, like a dead piece of skin. You know how your lip chaps sometimes.
But how big was
it? Was like, I mean, it was a decent size, and she just swallowed it. And she was like actively talking to the nurse about like stuff, and just mid conversation. I mean, why?
I hope you know the mic is picking up every single little sound effect. So you're just hearing.
So you're gonna hear.
You just hear.
Oh my God. Ew! And I never touch anything without gloves. In nursing school, they're like, you don't need you don't have to wear gloves for this type of contact precaution. Wear the gloves. Wear the gloves, because people are so disgusting. One dude, I'm not even kidding, brought in his Mac desktop and was making beats during the middle of the night. And we had a patient across the hall, like family member up there. They were comfort care, and the patient had passed, and you could hear across the room, him in the room, and he was like hyping himself up too in the background. He was the type of guy, the music was not good. It was bad SoundCloud rapper, but he was in the back. Oh yeah, bitch, you like that, bitch?
Oh my!
I'ma tell you. But I tell you, like stuff like that. It's just like so terrible.
And then this
and
family's
across the hall, grieving. So thankfully the doors were closed, but when you would open the door, it was just like, oh my gosh. If that was me, honestly, I couldn't not laugh.
How did he bring a desktop in? Where was it set up, on his bed?
On the bedside table. He had it set up, and then he couldn't.
All I picture is like DJ Khaled, or like literally all I picture is like a family, like a doctor, or like a, the comfort care nurse or whatever, like coming in and being like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Like, we have resources here. And then all you hear is another one, like in the other room, or like Mustard on the Beat, or like if you're on Metro, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's all I picture.
It was so bad. But
no.
At one point he turned off, for some reason he figured out, or no, he didn't figure this out. He accidentally turned off the color on this computer screen, so everything was black and white. And he was like coming up to us like, how do you fix this? How did you do this?
I'm sorry, I'm not Geek Squad of tech support. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
I know. I was like, sir, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I've never dealt with this type of Mac desktop before either. Like, how did you even get this? Crazy. He brought it in the ambulance with him. I was like,
priorities.
Why?
What? So he knew the ambulance was en route, so he like packed up his desktop.
I don't know.
Basically,
I have no idea. I don't know if he was a transfer. I can't remember if he was a transfer to another hospital. If he was like straight from, they picked him up from the house. Like, what happened? But
that's
that would be me with my skincare routine. Like, I would be packing myself a little 5-step routine just
my
just
gua
in case.
sha, my ice roller.
Our grandma went to the emergency room the other day. She's okay, but she like went to urgent care and she needed a CT scan. So I guess they referred her like, just go to the emergency room. She went home, packed up her makeup, packed her a little blanket.
Amazing.
Got all of her goodies and then went, because Nanny sleeps with her eyebrows on. Like, she draws on her eyebrows every night because she always says, if there's a fire and there's firemen like coming to get me, I don't want them to see me without my eyebrows.
Valid.
Mm-hmm. So that's how it's gonna be. The emergency room is calling. She's like, let me pack my makeup bag.
Dentures, different thing, but eyebrows on.
Eyebrows are on. I will never forget my grandma when when I was a kid, she used to stay at our house every weekend, and I will never forget one time she fell, like getting from like point A to point B, whatever. And like we just hear this like loud crash, and then my mom and I both like it was almost like it was almost like in a movie. Like her room was right at the top of the steps and my room was all the way down at the end of the hall. And as soon as we heard that sound, like I got up and we both like came out of the doors at the same time and like looked at each other down the hall, and we both ran downstairs. She's like laying on the floor. She was fine, but so we called 911. We called the ambulance. And I'm like down there, and I think I was wearing like a nightgown or something, because I was a kid, like, I mean, but I was at the age where I thought boys were cute. So next thing you know, like, you know, the EMTs, firefighters, like they're coming in and they are like, they were so fine for no reason. And I just remember being like, like sitting on the couch, just like jaw on the floor, just like, and then I look down and I'm like in a full nightgown, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And of course my grandma's like, oh hey, I'm like, Nana, you were on the ground, please be quiet. Like, Nana, shut your mouth, Nana, please.
That's so funny.
There was one thing about my grandma. She flirted with everybody. She was a big old flirt. Like, Nana, come on.
We love that confidence, though.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, we definitely, when we were young, thought men would like us, even though we were literally 12 years old.
Oh, yeah. You got to do the handstands in the pool to, like, show you who's boss. Yeah.
Yep, got to do the cartwheels in the front yard. Maybe the long guys.
And the tankini. The whole nine. Yeah.
100%, the Justice Tankini.
The Justice Tankini.
Rapping was my thing for me. I remember when.
Please go deeper on that one.
I remember we were in the front yard at Dad's house and the neighborhood boys were around, and Only had just come out. And so I was like, Hut Hut 1, Hut Hut 2. Do you remember that?
The Nicki song.
Or like, oh, I remember I was in this.
I never Drake on my life meant
sake. Yeah. Oh no.
Like Young Money, Cash Money, B.
But
I couldn't say the B word, so I was like, Young Money, Cash Money.
Just show off.
I guess I shouldn't have led with rapping like I was my own raps. No, it was just the fact that I like knew some. And what was the other one? There was so and put your hands up.
And they say
that, and I say that up, down, up, because all I do is win.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, amazing.
That one too.
Got it down. Speaking of men, Eva actually came up with a really good idea. We put a question box on our Instagram basically every time we record, just so y'all can like send in some ideas. She was like, ask everyone what the craziest thing a man has ever said to them is. Like, it could be traumatizing, like having to do with affairs, but it could also be something as simple as saying like, are you sure you want to eat that Wendy's? Your metabolism isn't as good as it was when you were 15. Sorry, what?
Wow.
Come again?
Run that back one time.
Sit out.
Just like a passive dig.
Right.
We got a lot of them. You can read your fave, Brittany.
Still, it's like my fifth time reading it. It still kills me. That he wanted to milk my udders like a baby cow, drinking from his mom for nourishment. My thing is, we didn't talk about this in the first recording, but if a man called my tatas udders, I don't know how I would feel about that.
Exactly.
I'd be like, I'm sorry.
You're a cow.
Right. Like.
So you're calling me fat.
So you hate me and I'm ugly. Like,
yeah. Like,
you think I have saggy boobs.
Right.
And more than one, too, because others is usually a whole.
There's like 6. Like. Oh, what?
And the fact that there's like a baby fetish, like he wants to nurse you. Ooh. There's so many different things that are wrong with that.
That just makes my makes me have chills, not in a good way. I hate that.
Violating.
Literally
I will tell the
disgusting.
story again of when my mouth was violated.
Perfect.
By this man.
My mouth was violated.
I actually call him the tongue abuser. Too.
No!
I've referenced this story a few times,
Perfect.
people, and I'm like, I refer to him. Oh, remember the tongue abuser? Yeah, he did a full, in between my teeth and my gums, a full 360 with his tongue.
Top row and bottom row.
Circumference. Who was the guy that thought the sun revolved?
Heliocentric.
Yes, exactly. Like a full around, teeth, gums, slime, everything. I was like, you can't like this. You've done this to other girls, and no one's told you no before, and I didn't. So I guess I was part of the problem. I should have told him I didn't like that, but I was very shocked. I was like.
That's probably
first.
like,
Wow.
you know, I mean, because if he were to like just like lead up to it slowly, you would have time to like back up and be like, whoa. But he did it so fast that as soon as it was over, you're like, like I don't like, hello?
It's gotta feel so weird having another person's tongue up underneath your lips. Like
You will never know how weird it feels.
No, I won't.
Hopefully this will never happen to you guys, but
That makes my skin crawl. The first time that I ever made out with somebody, it was at the mall when it happened. I know.
Like
So
in the
cute.
middle of the mall at a store. Let's get the setting.
Okay, so like, Sophia, you know Shore Pump Mall.
Yeah.
So like, you know when you go up the escalators, you know where the big wreath is during Christmas, like at the main entrance. So there's this bench that kind of like overlooks the parking lot, right? But like at night, there's like lights, whatever. This is back when you got dropped off at the mall and like had a blast, right? Mm-hmm. So there was this boy that I had been texting or like, you know, talking to, and you know, from another school, and I just thought that he was so attractive. Like we were messaging on Facebook, like it was a vibe. So like we were just like sitting next to each other on the bench, like overlooking like the beautiful view of the parking lot. And just gotta like paint the scene, like the very romantic scene. So, you know, we're literally in the middle of just talking because he played lacrosse. So I was asking him like about lacrosse, whatever. And then out of nowhere, he just like whips his head around and just like sticks his tongue in my mouth. Like there was no sort of like peck to like a nice lead up, nothing. Just like straight up tongue. And I just remember like jumping because I was in the middle of a sentence. And he just thought that was the perfect opportunity. And so when he pulled away, there was like, no!
a trail. Oh, gosh.
And his eyes were closed and mine were wide open because I was like, what is happening right now? Like, you know, he was basically like it was the whole nine, right? So then when he pulled away, his eyes are closed and I just saw the ring and I went real quick. Before he could open his eyes, and I just sat there and I was like,
what just happened?
I was like, I don't know how to process this. So then he just like got up and walked away, and I was like, cool. Like
what? He didn't
like,
finish your sentence?
Like good game, brother. Like just got up and left, right?
What?
So I was like, okay, perfect. And then we actually ended up going on a double date like later, right? Because I was like, I'm just gonna forget that happened. That didn't happen, as far as I'm concerned. Didn't happen, right? So we go on a double date with me and this girl and her boyfriend. And, you know, like we're like sitting there during the movie, like, you know, they're cuddling, they're making out, whatever. And I'm sitting there like waiting for him to hold my hand. Like, you know, I'm doing like the whole like arm on the armrest, like next to his, like our arms are touching, but like nothing crazy. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this dude is like not making a move. I was like, he wasn't scared a couple weeks ago when he stuck his freaking tongue down my throat. But literally at the end of the movie, we got up and left and we walked outside and he was just like, all right, see you later. High five.
No.
He high-fived me and walked off, and I haven't heard from him since. It's been, God, like...
Still waiting.
12 years. Still waiting on that text back. No, but he, straight up high-fived me and just walked off. And my friend looked at me. She was like, what was that? I said, great question.
I would love to know if you could tell me.
Love to find out. Great question. So, yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe he just mid-sentence stuck his tongue down your throat.
Straight up.
Because, like, that could be hot in the right circumstances. I feel like a man just cutting you off to, like, make out with you. Like, I could see that.
And if he knows what he's doing.
But exact. What was your first kiss? We should tell all our first kiss story.
Oh my gosh,
right?
why am I drawing a complete... Oh my gosh.
Have you had it?
Wait, no.
Oh, have you had your first kiss before?
I'm trying to
Sophia.
remember if this was my first kiss, but I think it was. It was my sophomore year. His name was Dan.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah,
I did like him.
God love him.
Not
He's actually
Dan.
doing really well now. I don't know what he does, but he's in like different states all the time and like driving cars around and like going to business dinners and stuff. And
Dan, if you're watching this, we're rooting for you, brother.
we
We're
are,
proud
because
of
he
you.
was trouble when we
Oh.
started talking. He was trouble, and I remember people were like, "You don't want to go out with him." Like, you know, it kind of like tarnished my name, quote unquote, for a little while. Like
Of course,
people were,
that made her like it more.
yeah, no, I've always been into like the guys who do the worst things. So we parked at a country club. It was like 10 o'clock at night, mind you, so no one was there, and it was like in front of the golf course. And he had this 2-door white Chevy truck, and it was of course like lifted on mud tires, and in the back seat that you have to get through climbing over the front passenger seat, there was a massive sub box. So like there was
Perfect.
really only one seat in the back.
Love
And we pulled up to the country club. He turned off the lights, turned off the car, and he was like, "You want to get in the back?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." So we got back there. We were literally squished up like this because the sub box was so ginormous. And he kissed me. And I think we made out a little bit. But that was like my sophomore year of high school. So it was a minute. Like, I never really had any like elementary school, middle school relationships. I had one boyfriend in middle school, and looking back, I cringed so bad because I was like way too obsessed with this kid. Like, way too obsessed to the point where I remember one time he wasn't answering my calls, and I was like calling him over and over and over again, and his friend ended up texting me and was like, "Hey, so and so wants to let you know that like he dropped his phone in the jacuzzi, so like that's why he hasn't been calling you." I was like, "Oh, I didn't even notice." Like, called him 30 times. Like, it was
It's like,
so
oh
embarrassing.
wow, like that's so crazy. Like
What?
I had,
Forgot about him.
oh my god, like that's right. I haven't talked to him today.
That's right.
That's so crazy. Oh
God,
my
I have a
god, I
boyfriend.
knew was forgetting something. Thank you so much for reminding me.
In my mind, I was like, God, I hope like that wipes everything. Like, I hope
Right.
he's not able to fix that phone. I hope it's dead as a doornail so he doesn't get it on. It's like bling, 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 like
Right.
30 missed calls.
Hope he's not lying
So
about
embarrassing.
that either.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think there was something, of course, it was like back in the days of everyone posting everything on Facebook. And I swear one of his friends posted something, and I was like, okay, this corroborates the story.
Right.
He's not lying to me. But yeah, that was my first kiss. I don't remember if it was good. I don't remember if it was bad. I remember the kid did end up getting like a frat tat on his arm at some point.
Oh, what?
And where like they burn you with a cigarette.
Oh.
Like someone puts their cigarette out on you.
Nice.
Yeah. Which was like so cool and so fun to do in high school. I mean, like just a regular Saturday night. And he got it on his arm, and then someone drew a heart around it with Sharpie and put like Dan and Sophia. And someone took a picture of it and put it on Twitter. And I thought it was like kind of funny. I was like, oh, haha. And I was getting comments from other guys were commenting on it and were like, this is so trashy. This is so gross. Like, I can't believe she's dating this kid, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Oh wow, that's great.
delete that.
Right, you're like, oh my god, how romantic.
I literally thought it was cute. Like, I honestly,
Trash.
I know. And then these guys were like, oh my God, this girl's white trash. Like, aren't you embarrassed?
And you're
I was
like,
yeah.
oh my god, I'm totally embarrassed. Like, deletes
like-
entire paragraph about how much I love it. Oh, I am so. This is trash. Like, this is someone come get your boy. Like,
I don't know why he did that. Like,
I don't
why
know
would you
him.
think I would like that?
right.
Yeah, that was
He doesn't
Dan.
know me at all.
So
Literally makes it a screensaver.
Literally. That's so funny.
Really super romantic. But yeah, I really think he's doing well now. And he was like a
For
little bit of
him.
trouble in high school. So I'm glad to see he's rebounded.
yeah, I remember seeing him on Tinder too, like a while ago.
He was
But-
the one who had like a straight pipe or whatever it's called on his truck where there's like no muffler. So it was so incredibly loud.
That's so
and my mom
annoying.
was like, he needs to pick you up like outside of the neighborhood. Like I don't want him coming in here because
funny.
it's so obnoxious. And I was like, I loved it. Like
That's
I loved
literally
boy.
me dating a guy that had a Mustang. And I like heard it like the whoa, like from outside the neighborhood, and I'm like, he's here, and I'm like bebopping downstairs, and he's like, get in the back. I'm like, okay. And my mom comes outside, and she goes, what? My mom comes outside and sees me climbing in the back seat. I'm fine with Brett. I was like, he's like, yeah, get in the back seat. I'm like, okay. And she comes outside. She was like, are you serious? You need to get in the front seat. Like, you're gonna... And I was looking at the window. I was like, Mom. But like looking back, I'm like, honestly,
understand us.
valid. Like looking
Why?
back, I will be...
Yeah, what was his reason?
Because his friend was in the front seat, naturally.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, what? Why was his friend there?
Great question.
A lot of good questions.
Man.
A lot of
Okay.
really fantastic questions that I do not have the answer to. So, but me being like, wow, he's picking me up. That's crazy.
Right. Like
At this point, he could
loves
strap
you.
me on the roof, and I'm like, he's obsessed with me. Precious cargo over here. Hey.
Literally strapped to the trunk.
Like a Christmas tree. Like, hey.
Okay, I've been trying to tell this story because it's my biggest flex, honestly. So, my
okay.
first kiss was with a British boy.
Oh,
An international kiss.
International love affair, okay.
great.
How old were you?
I was, I don't think I was even 16. I think I was 15. He was walking me back to, I went on like a trip with a bunch of other people, and he was walking me back to the house, and the front door was locked, so we were going around the back, and we went around the back was locked too, so we were like, all right, I guess we have to ring the doorbell. So we're going back around the front, and we were talking, I don't remember what we were talking about, but he smoked cigs at the time, or I'm sure he still does, but there in the UK, you roll your own cigarettes, and they're like little tiny ones, and then you put like a paper basically they're disgusting and horrible for you, and they taste terrible. So but he had to have them like every hour. Like all the kids were addicted to cigarettes. They had to have them like every hour, every
Wild.
2 hours, or they get the shakes. Like it was, and they were 16 years old. Like it was kind
Right.
of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. So but I made him so much hotter. So having an addiction, I was like, I'll be your next addiction. So American girl, American Pie.
I'll be your next addiction.
So we're walking back up to the front, and I was walking in front of him, and we were like kind of holding, I don't know if we were holding hands, but he grabs my hand and pulls me back into him, and we like kiss for a second. Again, first kiss, never had any experience besides like, did you guys ever like kiss your mirror before?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
of
So
course.
besides,
This is a universal experience here. Of course I have.
I remember we had our house cleaner, and sometimes I would forget to wipe it off sometimes too.
Oh.
She definitely is like, what's wrong with this girl?
Oh no.
But anyway, so he pulled me back, and we kissed for like a couple seconds, and then that was it. We went back, and like the rest of the trip was like pretty chill and stuff. I mean, I wanted him.
Did he ever kiss you again?
No, we didn't have a chance to, because it was with a group and a bunch of other, and it was like a Christian kind of thing. They weren't, but the people that took them there were. So I was like, I didn't want to be disrespectful, and
Yeah.
also like had first kiss, like obviously didn't know niche about niche, but we didn't kiss for that long. So I look back and I think and I wonder, did I know what I was doing? Now I consider myself, I think I'm a very good kisser. I know when somebody's a bad kisser. I mean, I can tell when it's just like, what are you doing? And then you give them another chance, and you're like, maybe they'll get it right this time, but it's still bad. I mean,
Right.
what? But yeah, still think about him sometimes, every now and then.
That's such a like good story though, to be
I
able to
know.
say like
That
it
is
was in
such a
England.
great
That's what like
British
story.
boy. He was super into me. Like
Love
apparently from
that.
the get go, he was telling all his friends I was fit, which is
he
like,
was fit.
which is not like in shape. That means like you're hot.
Yeah.
And like sexy over there. It means like you are a snack. You're a dish.
A dish.
A dish. So
You're a dish.
that's what I was.
The
And
whole meal.
Wait, so and your first kiss was on the bench?
No, that was my first kiss was at homecoming with my with my date.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say your dad was there or something. I was like, kill me.
Yikes, no, but I think it was my sophomore homecoming, and red flags all around. But this boy that I thought was so cute, like he had the the long blonde hair, and you like stick a hat on and it like curls up underneath.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that's my type. So like, he played sports, and I was like, oh, this man is just like, he is so hot to me. So he asked me to homecoming, and I was like, yeah, like I'm 100% going. Like, I'll have to check my calendar. Yes, I'm going. Like, so he came with like me and my friends, and like he was just being so sweet and so cute, like whatever. And my friends are like, oh my god, like he might kiss you, and I was like, no, like no. And did y'all see the thumbs down?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, your thumbs downing my story? Sorry. Like, no,
what does that even mean?
But, but.
Are we live?
Right, like,
are we getting live comments?
Right, like, what is happening? So, and, like, of course, like, the one slow song comes on, so like him and I are slow dancing, whatever, and then he just like leans in and kisses me, and I was like, this is literally perfect, like literally nothing could beat this. And then I turn and look over, and his ex was standing right there, and they had been like dating since like 6th grade all up until sophomore year of high school.
Dang.
Yeah, so it was like they kept this like middle school relationship going, right? So they dated for a hot minute, and then first red flag, they broke up, and then like 2 weeks later he asked me to homecoming. But me, I have my blinders on because I'm like, I'm trying to go to homecoming with a hot guy, like I'm totally down, right? So then we kiss, and I'm like, this is literally nothing could beat this. This is magical. I'm obsessed. Like this is the perfect first kiss story. And then I look over, and who was slow dancing with her date? His ex. And then next thing you know, the slow song ends. He's like, I'll be right back. And then they go off together. Yeah.
No.
Yup.
He did not.
Yeah. Straight up ditched.
Did you see him for the rest of the night?
No, straight up ditched me. Straight up ditched me for the rest of the night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, girl.
Do you know what he's doing now?
He's married now.
To that girl?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Well, you just gotta ask.
He is. I'm about 90% positive that he's married.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
How does he look now?
Not like he did. No. The glow up.
That's always the case.
Most of the guys don't. We were talking. I came up with the funniest catchphrase. Yeah. For all the couples out there from like high school, I was like, they get a dog, they get a baby, they get a divorce. Dog, baby, divorce. That's how it goes every single time.
That's how it goes every time.
Mm-hmm. We're waiting on one right now. They have a dog.
Yep.
We're waiting on the baby.
I'm waiting for the announcement.
And I'm not preying on anybody's downfall per se, but it's just like they weren't the best people. So.
That's just how it goes, especially being from Alabama. Like I feel like everyone says this about their high school, but it's so intense in Alabama that like urge to go to college, start dating in college, and then get married or get engaged like as soon as you can afterwards. Get your little white house, get your labradoodle, get your doodle, whatever, and then have your baby.
Yep.
Your little cockapoo, and then get a little cockapoo, have a baby, pop out a couple of babies, and then get a divorce.
Mm-hmm. Are y'all gonna go to your 10-year reunions? Because I'm really considering whether or not. I really don't want to go to mine.
I honestly, I haven't decided yet.
Okay. Do you?
I kind of
want to go. Because you're 2 years older than me, right?
Yeah, my 10 years this year.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I want to throw up.
Eva, don't look so surprised.
Well, no, it's like a good surprise. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're 10 years out of high school.
Yeah, dude, 2014, baby. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it depends. It honestly depends because they've had like we have our, the class of 2014 Facebook page that's not very active, but it's like, but they post like, I think they posted something last year being like, our 10-year reunions next year, like something like that. And if they plan something cool, like if it's like in a hotel, there's, you get to dress up, then like I'll consider it. I'll think about it. But I've also seen the class before us, I've also seen them do like a football, like a homecoming tailgate at the high school football game.
Oh my gosh, we talked about this one podcast.
I'm like, if that is my 10-year reunion, I will not be caught dead in that high school parking lot. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to share a hot dog with people that bullied me in high school. Like, I'm sorry.
True.
Like, that sounds like my worst nightmare. Like, I don't want to do that.
And being surrounded by a bunch of young kids. Like, you are at a high school football game.
Exactly.
So you are around a bunch of current high schoolers, reminiscing on the old days back when y'all were, like, cool. All the other people were cool and young and hip. And, like, that is terrible.
What are you gonna talk about? Like, oh, is this teacher still here? Probably
yeah,
not.
exactly. Yeah, like, oh, remember when we had this class? It's like, no, I barely like, I don't remember my teachers' names. Like, I really only remember like 2 teachers because they were cool. But other than that, I just, I have zero desire to go tailgate a high school football game and have teenage girls look and laugh at me. That sounds miserable. Like, I'm sorry, because teenagers right now are ruthless. So I would rather not have that interaction.
Isn't your like current friend group, are y'all all friends from high school?
Yeah, like there's some of us from all the way from elementary school. So yeah, like my best friend Josh, him and I have been homies since elementary school. Like, I remember him, like, we were running on the track and he, like, tripped me all the time. So, like, but now him and I we're homies. We're best friends. But yeah, so the vast majority of my friend group are people from elementary, middle, and high school, which is super cool. And now they're all getting married, so they're all bringing their spouses in. So our friend group is just, like, huge. Like, when we all get together, we're at least, like, 12 to 15 people deep. So it's really cool when we're all free and we can all get together, but which is rare. But
yeah, I only have like one friend from elementary school that I still talk with. Love her to death. And we don't talk very often, but whenever we meet up, we hang out for like 5-6 hours. Like last time I came home, I was wasted. I came back to your place and I was like, I was just laughing. So like, I never laugh like I do when I laugh with her. Love her. And then I really only have like a 1 or 2. 2 might be kind of risky. 2 friends from like high school that I still really talk to. But like honestly, 10-year probably not gonna happen. I might stick it out for the 15-year because by then most of these people are probably gonna be divorced and like down.
It might be getting interesting.
Down and out. Yeah, I might want to hear some tea, like hear what's going on, what happened.
Right.
But yeah, reunions.
I hadn't even thought about that because I graduated in 2016, so mine's in 2 years. Crazy. I probably won't. I mean, because the only person I talked to from high school is my best friend Taylor, which you've met, and then a couple, like one other girl who I can think of, Sarah. Shout out Sarah, Shayna. I don't know. It's gonna be a hard maybe.
Right.
Hard maybe.
Yeah, I texted the group chat and I was like, if y'all go, I'll go. But if y'all don't go, then I'm not going.
I'm not.
I'm not going. Like if this is like a group, like we all get dinner beforehand and then we all go, like I'm totally down. Like I'm totally down for that. But if this is they don't feel like going, they don't know if they should, then I'm gonna be like, deuces. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I haven't had to go to like, I went to I've seen everybody, going to baby showers. I went to my first baby shower like a little over a month ago for my really close friend from college. And then I have one wedding coming up that I have to go. And I'm like, I'm
She's
officially
a bridesmaid.
It's so exciting.
I'm in the wedding thing right now. Like all of my friends are getting married. Like everybody's popping babies out. And I'm like, God, my wallet is gasping for air. Like I'm the one getting the towels on the registry, like respectfully, you know what I mean? Like I'm the one getting the towels and the onesies board. And maybe that's that's pushing it a little bit. but like, can we just talk about registries for a minute? Because if you are planning to have a wedding registry or like a baby shower registry and you're putting things on there that are $150, $200 plus, do not.
Crazy.
The amount of registries that I've gone on, and it's like the KitchenAid mixers, but not even like the base model. That's still pushing $200-$300. I'm talking about like the deluxe with like the pasta attachment for like $500. I'm like, who? And I'm like, we're cool, but we're not $500 in a pasta attachment cool. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna skimp down to the very, very bottom. I'm gonna get y'all's dish towels, maybe some measuring cups, and a cup set. And I'm going to say, peace and blessings. Like, love y'all. Or I'm getting you a gift card. That's basically it. Or what I've really been loving, and it's been a trend lately, is when people do a honeymoon fund.
I haven't seen that.
I will, like, some of my friends have been doing either the first home fund or the honeymoon fund. Being like, if you don't want to buy anything from the registry, then just like contribute. So I just like drop 50 every time.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's $50, have fun. Like, dinner on me kind of vibe. So, yeah. But these registries have gone crazy.
It's going to be a very quick sort by price, low to high.
Salt and pepper shakers.
Salt
and pepper shakers. Placemats.
Yeah.
A wreath hook for your door. Perfect.
Some command strips.
some super glue, like some Dawn dish soap.
Hey, maybe the super glue and the command strip.
Wow, that's a little too big. That's a little. Don't want to get too big for my britches over here, but.
They need to have two separate registries, like the close family registry and then the like everyone else registry.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no way I'm buying the KitchenAid or the diaper genie, the $500 diaper warmer. No,
like I'm like respectfully, I'm not doing that. No. And you can't expect me to do that. Like I'm gonna have
you can't ask me.
You can't ask me because at this point I'm blind. Like there's just. It's just not happening. But I've been in like 4 or 5 weddings now. I just went to my first wedding that I wasn't in last year.
Oh, when you wore that green dress?
No, that was the second wedding that I've been to that I haven't been in. Like my very first one was last year, or no, the year before last. And it was the first time that I was a guest, and I was like, I get to show up like 30, 45 minutes before the wedding starts. I can mingle with everyone. I don't have to hold a bouquet. I can just sit and enjoy and watch and not have to stand. Oh, it's beautiful.
See, that's what I'm stressed about. I'm like, I don't want to mingle. I'm like, thank God I'm a bridesmaid because I have a place where I have to be. I have something to do. Like I have things required of me where I can't be like, oh, like let's go over here. Like I know we're all probably going to be getting pretty drunk too. Is the other thing. It's going to be a fun wedding. Like she is one of the funnest people that I know. She's my go out friend.
Oh, nice.
So like it's going to be a fun wedding. But I'm like, yeah, I just don't know, like mingling and all that. Not really my thing. But like my other thing is like, who's gonna be my date? Because
they pair you with.
Do I match up with one of the groomsmen? I think she has like 11 bridesmaids or something. So I'm like, how many guys? Is there gonna be enough guys? There better be, because I would be the one that wouldn't have a guy to pair up with, and I don't know any guy. I know one guy friend that I have that I could bring with me, and he doesn't know them at all. So it's like, I hope that this works out for me. But either way, I'm gonna be there. But
is this the first wedding you've ever been in?
Yeah, first wedding.
Let me give you some pointers.
Besides, like family when I was super young and stuff. So
as like 27 dresses almost. Like let me give you some pointers.
Okay.
They're gonna have for your bouquet. I always tell, because it's a common mistake, but for your bouquet when you're walking, because you're gonna have, I mean, I'm assuming you're gonna have a bouquet when you're walking down the aisle. Point it, like, put it down to your crotch area and point it forward.
Okay.
Because if you hold it like this, you're just gonna see nothing but stem. Nothing but stems. I call it the crotch and point. You gotta point it. You gotta bring it down to your lady area, and you gotta tilt it forward. Because when you get the pictures back, you're going to see the front of the bouquet and not just the stems. And you're not going to be walking like, you know, like, oh God, what do I do? Like, your arms are going to be relaxed and you just point forward. And then it's going to be so awkward, but you're just going to have to smile the whole time. Mm-hmm. Because the photographers are taking pictures, and videographer, if they're going to have a videographer, they're going to be taking videos of you walking down the aisle. It's going to be so uncomfortable and so awkward.
Who do you make eye contact with? Like, do you just stare straight ahead at nothing?
Stare straight ahead at nothing.
Okay.
Literally,
right.
I either like look over somebody's heads, or I make eye contact with the bride. Not the bride.
Wait,
the bride's gonna be walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
Like, I make eye contact. I either like make eye contact with the groom, or I just kind of like look at the officiant, or I just look over into the distance. I don't look at anyone. I don't look at anything. Just don't look down. Don't look down.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one thing that every photographer has told me to do, is to not look down. And I'm like, well, like one time I had to walk downstairs. So I was like, well, that was stressful. I had to like hold the dress, walk down. It was a whole thing, but it was terrible. But yeah, so just make sure the bouquet is, you know, down and pointed forward. You're going to have to smile the entire time walking down the aisle. And then during the rehearsal, they're going to pair you with somebody to walk back. So normally, like, so the bride and groom will probably do like their, you know, you may not kiss the bride, then they're going to go off, and then, you know, one by one, y'all are going to walk. Traditionally, they, you know, interlock arms, and then you walk back down the aisle with the groomsmen. The groomsmen. The photographer is going to be taking photos. You're going to smile, and then you're going to walk off.
Okay.
I've heard that the bachelorette trips is where it gets like crazy pricey. Like, do you know if she's doing one?
I'm sure. I'm positive she is, but where, I don't know exactly. I don't know if I don't even know when she's having the bridesmaid, what did she call it? Engagement? No, that's not right.
The bridal shower?
Proposal? Yeah. No, like I guess she's like asking us all to be her bridesmaids next month or something.
Okay.
So I don't know dates on like bachelorette party, actual wedding, have no idea. But yeah, that's coming up. So bachelorette party, I don't know. I'm thinking Vegas.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
Hi, Moneybags. Hi.
A little Cabo?
Right?
Probably not. That's not my budget right now. But I wouldn't know. Probably the beach or something.
Fun.
I mean, wherever we go, like it's gonna be a fun group of girls. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a great time. And I'm kind of excited for that. But yeah, I'm gonna need to start saving up, because definitely gonna be drinking from dusk to dawn for sure.
I'm interested to see how she asks her, like what the little setup is, because you know when you get asked to be a bridesmaid, usually there's like a gift involved. Mm-hmm. And a lot of girls I've been seeing, like who I follow on Instagram just from school and stuff, there's been a couple where it's been like a Christian Dior item, a Cartier item, like a full-on bottle of like Moet, like a really, and I'm like, okay, so
I'm expecting a gift card to our favorite bar or something like that.
Mood.
Honestly,
I've gotten a little. I think like the best one that I've ever gotten was the two that I can remember mostly is the very first wedding that I've ever been to, that I was ever in. She gave me like this adorable little box, and it had like a little jewelry holder. Or like not a jewelry holder, but like a little jewelry dish.
Yeah.
And then a little like mini makeup bag, and I think like a cute little like personalized note that was like, "Will you be my bridesmaid?" or something like that. And then another girl that I was friends with, she gave everybody a bracelet and a necklace in a little bag that was like, "Will you be my bridesmaid?" And that was the bracelet and the necklace that we had to wear with our dresses on the so like everybody was matching. And then another one was like a matching set of PJs, I think. So when we were all getting ready, we all wore the same PJs.
Oh my gosh. There's so many details that go into a wedding.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Because you have to think about all the events beforehand, plus all the different things you're doing on the day of. Like, it's not just the ceremony, it's the before, it's the appetizers, and then it's like do you do a sit down dinner? Then you have like a DJ, then the whole reception afterwards. Like, I don't know. Like, do I get a wedding planner? Like, is that what I'm going to have to do?
Me personally, I am going to have a little wedding. It's going to be like close friends and family only. Okay. I'm going to spend most of the money on the dress because I want to look good in the pictures. I want to look back on this. I'm going to work my butt off to get in shape to be in the most hottest dress too. And then cute little wedding, fun reception after, very low key though. Fun little bachelorette party, but most of it is going towards the honeymoon. I want a 2-weeker, okay? I want to be away somewhere tropical, luxurious, luscious for a long time. That's where most of my money is going to go. Because, yes, it is fun to plan and then, like, all the different little things you can do leading up to it. But honestly, I'd rather just go on a vacation with the man of my dreams for a long time.
I want to be there for so long, I'm starting to feel like I live there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Like, at least a 2-weeker.
You know our names. We're locals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something like that.
I definitely want to like splurge the most on my dress and my bouquet and the photographer. Like, those are the 3 things that I like really want to splurge on.
True photographers.
Do you think you'll have a videographer as well?
Probably not.
Okay.
I just think that's like, I think it's cute, but I feel like it's unnecessary. I feel like if it's in the budget, and if it's like, hypothetically speaking, let's say I find a photographer and they're like, oh, for an additional $100 you can get a videographer, I'd be like, okay, like, I'll consider it. But if it's one of those things that's like, oh, you can pay an extra $500 to $1,000 to have somebody make a video, I'm like, no.
I'll just hire my sister to do it. Honestly, she's
I mean, hey,
technological genius.
Using and abusing. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just because, I mean, all the wedding videos that I've seen, they're great, but it's really just like them taking like little videos of the vows, and then, you know, like them frolicking through a field holding hands, and it's like that. It's cute, but it almost feels forced. Yeah. And I feel like that's just, and for me, I just kind of want to just like take a couple pics, you know, just like a couple pictures throughout the night, like have a good time, and then call it a day.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of it. It's like every wedding is different because every bride wants different things. I agree. I think the dress is going to, like, I want something that's going to age well. Like, it's going to be timeless. I'm always going to love it. Definitely the hair and makeup. I see a lot of brides doing like trials. You know, they go to like 4 different people, test everyone out. That's gonna be hard for me because I'm such a people pleaser. I would never want to tell someone like, I don't like this eyeshadow at all. Like, can you do something entirely different? But that's gonna have to be the day where like I lay down the law because I have to look good.
If you don't want to say it, I'll say it.
There's no other option.
No.
While I'm thinking about it, Eva, don't feel pressured to get your hair and makeup done. Do not feel pressured to do it. Like for it to be a bridesmaid. Like there's almost every wedding that I've been in, the bride has been like, you have the choice if you want to get your hair and makeup done. I just need to know by like this date and it's going to cost this much money. I did have one bride pay for everybody's hair and makeup, which was phenomenal, and I was like, love that. But there's been other times that are like, hey, we are going to hire a makeup artist, we are going to hire people to do your hair, so if you want to do that, just like let me know by X date, and then Venmo me this amount of money. But I had a horror story happen.
No.
It was awful. This is one of my dear best friends. She was getting married, and like to her to her high school sweetheart, they've been together for 10 years. Like, you know, they were getting married. I was like, oh my God, I've been there from the beginning, blah, 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 whatever. It was like, finally they were getting married, whatever. And she hired a makeup artist, and she got COVID like 2 days before the wedding, right? So she was like, what am I going to do? Right? So then she finds this like other random girl that's like, you know, she's like, I'm a makeup artist, whatever. And she's like, I'm available. And I'm like, okay, fine. So she comes and she does everybody's makeup, and everybody's makeup looks fantastic, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at this girl, and I'm like, I swear I know her from somewhere, but I can't, and I still to this day cannot put my finger on it, but I know that I've seen her somewhere. So I sit down and I told her, I said, the only thing that I want to do is my own brows because I'm very particular about my brows. So I was like, I'm going to do my own. Other than that, free reign. You do whatever you want. I said, however, I don't like orangey tones on my eyes. Like I don't like orangey makeup, but my friend's colors were teal and peach, right? But so I'm sitting in the chair and, we have this beautiful, floor to ceiling window with all this natural light. So there was no ring lights needed. It was amazing, amazing venue. So she finishes my makeup and I just feel she gets a makeup wipe and I just feel her go like this on my eye. And I was like, at this point, I can't see a mirror. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. She pulls up the mirror and she's like, how do you like it? And I swear she took orange, the James Charles orange,
the Kylie Jenner first
Kylie Jenner
Yep.
orange palette and just packed it on my lid and then took a makeup wipe and went Meow. And she was like, do you love it? And I was like, I love it so much, thank you so much. This looks so good. So I immediately get up and I'm mortified. I didn't bring any sort of makeup with me. Nothing. And that's another thing. If you decide to get your makeup done, bring backup makeup just in case you don't like it, because then as soon as they leave, you can fix it. So I texted my friend who was also a bridesmaid that was in the same room. I texted her and I was like, do you have makeup with you? She was like, yeah. I said, meet me downstairs. So she met me downstairs and she gave me her entire makeup bag and I just went in the bathroom and just basically started wiping it off. And I paid for it too. And it was awful. Everybody else's makeup looked so good. And I told her to not put orange on my eyes. And the next thing you know, she's putting orange on my eyes.
So do you think she knew you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I still think about it I think about it every once in a while.
I think
this is 3 years ago.
When I'm really mad.
Yeah, when I'm really upset, I think about it.
I love watching those videos on TikTok of girls going to the worst reviewed makeup artists. And oh my gosh, they are so bad. And it's I feel bad for them because obviously they're pursuing this career. Somebody told them they were good.
Right.
But it's
Somebody's lying to them.
They need a Simon Cowell in their life to be
really
you
do.
Trash, get out of here.
You trash.
You bad. Because the girls aren't telling them. They're just making a video of watching there was one girl and she I think a bug flew on her forehead and she just beauty blushed it. Her beauty, what is it?
Beauty blender.
I can't even speak right now. Beauty blended it into her face, and she didn't know till after because she's just recording.
Oh my, that's awful.
So bad, but wow,
No.
bless them. I remember the only time I ever paid to get my makeup done was, I think it was, I never went to any school dances. The only school dance that I went to was the 8th grade banquet. And I tell my mom to this day, I'm like, I feel like some things in life I shouldn't have to pay for because I didn't make you buy me all these extravagant gowns and dresses for dances and stuff like that. So if you had pageants too on top of all the school dances she went to, I cost her nothing. I cost her literally nothing. I wore t-shirts and leggings all the time until I I expanded a little bit of my style once I got to college. But I got my makeup done at MAC for my 8th grade banquet.
Oh, wow.
I felt hot. I felt so hot. They gave me the mascara to take home too. They were have this.
Free mascara.
They said, have this. But looking back, the makeup was kind of trash. I don't think she knew what she was doing.
Bless her heart.
But it was the experience was oh my gosh, I get to go get my makeup done. I love having my makeup done. It was so fun. But yeah.
I will never forget, we had pictures done yearly at the TV station in Richmond, and this was my second year there. So the first year I did my own makeup because makeup artist wasn't an option, and the second year they were we will be having a makeup artist here.
Wow.
So basically just come as you are. And it was also hair, I'm pretty sure too.
Okay.
Or maybe I straightened my hair. Either way, this lady did my makeup. The face was fine. The eyeshadow was good. The brows were and everything. But she took a little spoolie, a throwaway spoolie, put it into the mascara tube, you know, because obviously they don't want to use the same wand on everyone. So she just dipped it in there and did like 2 little strokes on my eyelashes and was like, "Okay, hun, you're all done." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, can I have that spoolie?" I was like, can I have that?" And just a little bit. She's like, "Oh yeah." So I'm like putting it on. I go over to the mirror. I'm like, I literally look sickly. I look like a bald eagle right now. I have no eyelashes on. I'm rummaging through my purse. Like, there's got to be a spare mascara in here somewhere. Like, surely.
Oh, my goodness.
Nothing. I had to take those pictures with no eyelashes. Meanwhile, if I do my own mascara, I'm like 5 coats deep. Like, and I'm getting to the root. I'm wiggling at the root. I'm all the way up. She literally just fairy dusted it on. I was like, this is my lesson. Like, if I ever get my makeup done again, like you said, I'm bringing my own makeup as well. But
Bring your own makeup. Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't work there anymore, so I don't have to worry about it. But like, I hated those pictures. They were so bad. I never posted them. I didn't even acknowledge them. They weren't taken. That wasn't me, because it did not look like me.
Right. Like, don't be afraid to like be like, I'm gonna do my own brows. I'm gonna do my lashes. I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. Like, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, God, I have PTSD thinking about that makeup. Like, it was,
and the wing, like winging it out, like cutting that,
just like
orange,
just
so
a harsh orange line. I was like, kill me, because she asked, she was like, what are the bride's colors? I was like, oh, it's like peach and teal, or so, like peach and something, and she was like, oh, pretty, and like it worked beautifully together. But like, I just knew when I felt that like cold, damp, freaking, just like, I was sat there and I said, surely she did not just do that. I was like, surely she didn't.
No.
She did not just do that. So then when she left, I was like, and I went over to everybody. I said, can I see what your makeup looks like? And I just looked and I was like, God, your makeup looks great. And then I went over, I was like, let me see. I was like, your makeup looks great. And I just looked in the mirror and I was like, does she hate me? I was like, because I swear I know her from somewhere. But I just looked and I was like, God, this is terrible. I look like I 2 bright orange stamps on my eyelids. It was awful.
No,
Lesson learned.
For my driver's, my first, so it was after I got my permit. I failed my first driver's license test, by the way.
I love to remember that.
He loves that story. Apparently, I cut somebody off. I didn't see that, first of all.
Hi.
And they swerved around me. Obviously, they were aggressive. They didn't need to do that.
Right.
It was unnecessary.
Your Honor, she's innocent.
First of all. But anyway.
There's not enough evidence to convict. Come on.
There wasn't a dash cam. Come on.
No, come on.
So I got my picture taken. I had Kylie Jenner, back to the Kylie Jenner palette. She had just come out with her first palette. If anybody remembers it, it was white. It had 2 pairs of eyes on the front, and it was orange. It was literally just different shades of orange and a couple browns in there.
Love that.
With the orange tint. So I was like, yes. And by the way, I bought it off of Mercari.
I was gonna say, it wasn't even real.
So whether it was, I don't think it was real. Whether it was real or not,
no,
I don't know. But anyway, it looked just like hers, so whatever. Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna use this Kylie Jenner eyeshadow palette. My first picture. I'm gonna look so good. Did it to the brow, right? Okay, so
and it was like coppers. There was like some shine in the picture. You can see orange up to the brow
I think I
bone.
still have it somewhere in my room, because I was like, I can never get rid of this.
That's gonna be the Instagram. That's gonna be like the feed photo for our new episode. It's just Eva's pictures.
I promise I will try and find it for you just so we can use it.
Amazing.
But I'm telling you, I looked like I was stoned out of my life.
Perfect.
I looked like I was so high that I couldn't even. Why did they let her drive? She was so high.
Oh,
I mean, like,
why did they
was
let her
so
drive?
bad.
Oh,
and I had
no.
never even smoked before. It was the thing. Like, I had never even dabbled in that kind of stuff, but I looked toasted. And I remember showing it to my family, and they were like, I remember I sent a picture to Dad, and he sent back the emoji with the straight line.
Oh.
And he said, "Oh, Jesus." And my dad is a man of very few words. So if you know that was a lot. That was quite an insult coming from him.
Oh, imagine.
Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, I might have it, the text copy.
That is, I will never forget. We were in Vegas. We went to Vegas
No.
on a trip with our dad and our stepmom. And it was, our little brother wasn't even there. It was just Eva and I, and we didn't we didn't really go on trips with them like that, and definitely not without our little brother. So this was like a special thing that they wanted to take us to Vegas since we were both 21.
Mm-hmm.
And we were walking down the strip, and Eva was wearing this like silky little mini Free People skirt, like super flowy, and we're walking over this massive vent, and it's like blowing air up, and Eva walks over, and her entire skirt literally touches her eyeballs. It comes all the way up, and she's like trying to push it down, and my dad's like, Jesus, Eva. He's acting like so offended. Like, why would you do this? And he was like,
he's behind us, so he sees my whole ass. No pun intended. My whole. Like,
Oh no!
And he's like, Jesus, Eva. Like, yeah, get it together.
I was wearing a thong too. Like, no shame, no granny panties, no cheek stirs, thong. Okay,
baby.
And it was just so. It was so humbling a moment for me. It was the first day too. We had to go through another 2 days.
Perfect.
That trip was honestly.
That was a trip for the books. Like, so many things happened. We haven't told our little brother about all the things that have happened because, like, those are his parents. Because he's our half brother, so like our stepmom and our dad. But yeah, I mean, Vegas will change you. Vegas will change you. First time, maybe the last time.
Probably.
Maybe the
we haven't been
last.
invited back. We're not invited back since then. But
yeah,
boy,
no, we haven't.
It was a time.
Ooh, boy, we had a time last night.
I'll never forget when I broke my finger. Oh gosh, my headphone fell out. I broke my finger when I was like a sophomore in college, and to this day I don't know how it happened. I was an angel for Halloween, so I had the wings, I had the halo, I had the fishnet tights, of course, the wedge sneakers.
Oh, of course.
And a lot of stuff happened prior to that. I remember, I don't remember, but apparently what do you call it? I wasn't face planted, but I back planted on the cement outside a bar before getting into the Uber. Stuff like that. Okay, it was a bad time for me.
Just to set the stage.
I disappeared for a while, came back I locked myself out of my phone, like it was bad. So my friends came home. But I lived with my friend at the time. They put me to bed. They said, go to sleep, Eva, please.
Go to bed, babe. They
go to an after party. They leave me alone. Bad idea. Come home. I came out of the room. I was like, where have you been? Where were you? Waving my fingers all around. This finger to the side, completely crooked. They were like, what did you do? To this day, I don't know. My closet door was on its side.
Literally off the hinges.
Halo bent,
Not
wings
the halo
missing fingers.
bent.
So obviously some type of commotion between me, myself, and I happened.
And
in
the
my
closet
room.
door.
And the closet door happened.
Closet door.
When I was in my room. So they have to take me to the hospital. They hooked me up to 2 IVs. I have never been so swollen in my life.
Oh,
they were like
no.
they must have been like she was so. I remember trying to sign in at the desk at the emergency room, and we couldn't stop laughing. We were laughing.
You and your friends?
Yes. And the lady at the front desk was so over us. Like, she was so done because they were like, what's your health care? I don't know. Like, I was trying to put information I could not answer. We could not stop laughing. Like, I was still drunk, by the way. So they hooked me up to 2 IVs. I ended up going in. They hooked me up to 1 IV. I ended up going in an ambulance. Okay, get to the main hospital I'm supposed to be at. Then it's all fun and games till they tell me she might have to have surgery. I said, what? Surgery? What? Wait, this was funny.
Surgery?
Surgery for a finger? I was like, this can't be. So I remember calling my stepmom in the middle of the night. This was like 3 a.m.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
And keep in mind, the paramedics in the ambulance are no help. They are just sitting there silent. Like, I'm just like
sobbing on the phone with your mom.
There's no comfort at all. It's just so cold. And I'm wearing my Cookie Monster pajama pants, a big sweatshirt, and my Birkenstocks. I look like trash, okay? So I get to the hospital. They hook me up to another IV because I'm still belligerently drunk, having a great time.
Perfect.
Crying a little bit because I might have to have surgery.
Valid.
But, like, it's still up in the air. We
Makes
don't know
sense.
yet.
Valid.
So, anyway, we were there for a few hours. My friends have to leave because they have to go to work. It's like, 7 a.m. by now. They have to go to work the next day. So they end up leaving. But apparently when I called my stepmother, I forgot about that. And she obviously told my father, who was in the bed next to her. He drives from Atlanta to Birmingham. He walks in the door. I was like,
What are you doing here? Wow, Ariana.
I said, let me tell you everything I've ever done in my entire life, Dad. Sit down. And I literally, he said to this day, he's like, you would not shut up, Eva. Because they gave me, I don't know if they gave me a Percocet, like whatever they gave me to help with popping a perk. To help me with the pain made me even more of a good time. I'm sure anybody else would have had a great time sitting and chatting with me, but he was just like covering the eyebrow, hand on the head, like, please make this stop. And I told him everything. I told him about my tattoo. I told him about, like, oh my gosh, so much stuff. And
jeez,
I don't remember. I don't even know what all I told him, but that was my...
That was so funny. Yeah, I remember getting the call. My mom was like, Eva's in the hospital. I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like,
she broke her finger. I'm like, what?
Dramatic much?
The drama.
The drama.
But going back to her apartment and seeing the scene of the crime, and she was wearing those fishnets, and they were all tangled up on the floor, like in a knot. Obviously, she had, like, I think she was my version. I think she was trying to take them off over her platform sneakers.
Even
and so
better.
she got, like, stuck in them, tripped over them, tried to grab onto the closet door. It came down.
Honestly, likely story. I kind of like that story.
Yeah, I would attach there's videos and pictures, but I feel like it might be too much for some people.
I can't even.
I had really good nails at the time, I will say, my natural nails, and not a one of my natural nails broke. My finger completely broke, but my natural nails stayed so nicely. And I remember Sophia, this was my cast from finger wrapped to the elbow. They gave me it was like they were trying to shame me for what I did, for being too drunk. They gave me a full arm cast for like 2 or 3 weeks. I had to wear it, and I was going to UAB at the time. You know how embarrassing it was walking around with a full arm cast? And what story to tell? I don't know what happened, actually. I really can't tell you what happened because I don't know to this day.
I came to and I was telling my dad my whole life story. I don't know what you want me to say. I was in the hospital. I don't know what happened.
It was so bad. And then after I had to have the cast, and the funniest part is they didn't tell me they were putting on a full arm cast. They were like wetting. It was like they were like wetting paper mache and shaping it to my arm, and I was like, "What's happening?" Because the doctor finally came in after like 4 hours, which obviously he had more important things to do. I understand that. He came after 4. They put a giant needle in my hand, started to inject me with like numbing, stuff, and then he just popped it right back in place.
Oh, you didn't feel it?
I don't think I mean I felt it, but it didn't hurt because they numbed it up basically. Yeah. So then after that they attached, I think it was my pinky and my 4th finger. They started wetting some stuff by the bed, but me still like in La La Land. Oh yeah, Dad, did you know about those? Let me tell you about this time. So the whole time I'm just like having so much fun.
Did you not have a tattoo?
So and then they start kind of shaping it around my arm, and I'm like, I'm not going to ask him. I'm not going to question them because I'm no doctor at this time. I didn't even know I wanted to be in nursing or anything. I'm just like,
right.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, I believe in you. And they start shaping it around my hand. And I'm looking back and I'm like, they probably didn't tell me because I would have been like, what the heck are you doing? You're putting an entire arm cast around for one little measly top of the finger. It was crazy. And then they were like, I can't bend the top of my finger now. I can bend the other part.
Oh, that looks so odd.
But I can't bend this part.
Wild.
They're like, oh, you can do, they're like, are you interested in physical therapy?
No.
For a finger?
I'm not.
No.
I'm not interested in physical therapy because you know what? You're going to charge it to my card along with the $800 ambulance fee too.
Dad still talks about whenever any money thing comes up, he's like, and I'm still paying off Eva's Halloween instead. I'm like, all right.
All right. The drama.
The absolute drama.
Embraces. You want to know something? I had the most jacked up teeth in the entire world. Every single one of my teeth was doing a crisscross with the other. Okay,
Love
it was
that.
so bad, but I needed braces badly. It was obvious I needed braces. But to this day, he says, "I liked your teeth before you had braces." I think you liked the money, sir.
Yeah.
You liked the money before I had braces.
I think you liked the $5,000 in your pocket, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those dad things. Like, he's always going to be like, oh, but I liked your teeth before. Like,
It's like,
did you really?
come on.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Be astronomically for real right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you came on the podcast. This was fun.
This is
to
fun.
hear
Right.
to hear your little brain speaking.
Thanks.
Funny girl.
Wow.
Y'all said you wanted longer podcasts, and you're getting them. We're at an hour 15 now, baby.
How long are they usually?
We probably do like an hour, but every time I always ask, like, do y'all like longer or shorter? People are like, longer, please, way longer.
Right.
So,
here we go.
Slay.
yep. Follow our Instagram, please, everyone, if you're still here. I'm like running out of pictures.
Right?
I'm running out of pictures. We need to link up.
We do.
We need to link
We
up.
need to link. I don't know how many PTO dates I get with my job, so I'm gonna have to find that out, and then I have not been to your place in Atlanta yet.
I know you need to. I am already in my second year, so like I'm not going anywhere until maybe January of next year. So you got some time.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some time off because I feel like I just need to like live my life a little bit more.
Yeah,
do my thing.
I agree. They're working you too hard.
Yep.
Knows nothing about your job. They're working you way too hard.
They work me way too hard. Yeah, God, doing all
and
my
they're
work,
not paying you enough.
and they're not. They actually are. So like, I'm not that mad about it. Like, I got a significant pay raise with this new job. So like,
thank you God.
So like, I can't really complain about that. But it's like for the amount of work that you're doing, not mad about the compensation. But anyway. But yeah, follow our Instagram, follow our socials. You know the drill. We'll have it all in the bio and all that good stuff. So
we love you guys. Thanks for listening.
this was so fun.
It was fun. It was a gratin when I was.
It was a gratin when I was chica cred. I had lots of makeup on my face.
I'm so glad you know that.
Oh my God. I literally think about that video at least once a month.
Oh my God.
Classic. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.